Hey you guys, welcome to Splinterlands TV. It is I, the Cyan. I'm back with a little bit of story time here for you guys about Wild and some of the cards I've actually been picking up lately because I'm feeling like in two ways. I'm feeling kind of bullish, and at the same time there are some crazy deals that are happening. But I want to start at the start where I guess my buying spree, because I've actually spent like a couple $100 at this point in time. Don't tell my wife. Kind of really began. I want to give like a shout out to a few people who really helped me out through this time. Now, if I don't say your name, it's not because like I don't appreciate you. I'm just like rambling basically a few names that I pulled out here, like AJPL, Vugtis, Trash Panda, who's literally delegating me SPS right now, Deuce Crypto, VetteV, Dave McCoy for the SPS rentals. Of course, my subs like Canada and DeFizz, appreciate you guys. And Killian's Wrath is one of the people I kind of want to point out today. For a long time, he was delegating to me this Baron Fiat and the other guy too, the rare version, stuff like that, for me to try out. So I totally appreciate that, Killian's Wrath. I really do. And when the delegation eventually had to end, as all good things do, I was missing this Baron Fiat. So I decided that I was going to go on to the market. I was going to see what was left. And there were two Baron Fiats on the market at that point in time. There was one that was $55 basically for an 11 BCX, and there was one that was just $5, period. Those are the only two left on the market. So we got one at like $5 per BCX, $55 for a max, and you got one that's just $5. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to try and make some fiat off Baron Fiat. And if we take a look over here at Peak Monsters, we'll see that I bought those guys, right? I bought one from God is Love, the 4-star for 55, and I got the other Baron Fiat that was $5. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to list the one that was $5. I'm going to start it off at $22.22 since it's the only one on the market. I'm going to see if I can like flip that 5 and have it pay off a bigger amount of the 11-star Baron Fiat that I ended up picking up, or the 4-star Baron Fiat I picked up, the 11 BCX. So as things always happen, you know, you list at 22.22, someone else lists at 20, then it's down to 18, then 16, and it was going down and down and down. I was wondering, am I ever going to get a point to actually get rid of this Baron Fiat? And it ended up happening. I'm trying to see if I'm right here. It ended up happening. Thank you very much, Knoxville, for the purchase, where I sold it actually for $10.49. So I was pretty happy with that. I was like, you know what? I doubled up on that one Baron Fiat, which I consider it paid off $5 of the other Fiat, which is now only a $50 expenditure instead of a $55 expenditure. And that got me kind of hungry. And I was like, you know what? I wonder what other deals I can find. And I started looking around, and I had to kind of prioritize because there's a few people who are exiting right now. I personally, I'm like, ooh, it's at like such a low right now. Is this really where you'd want to exit? But there's a few people who are exiting and are like just changing positions, and that's totally fine. That's like part of the beautiful thing that is Splinterlands, is you can just exit when you want to, right? So that's happening right now, and some of those people are just like undercutting each other over and over and over. So there ends up being some pretty good deals that are happening. As you can see by like my purchases here, I've been trying to shore up my Wild collection. And the first thing that I knew I needed to get, like, there's no point in going to get any other cards until I've gotten a handle on one card, the best card in the whole game pretty much, which was Dr. Blight. So I had a Dr. Blight at that point in time. I had a 6-star Dr. Blight, or a 6 BCX Dr. Blight, so a 3-star, and I was rocking him, but I'm losing a lot. Like, you know how it is when you go to XBot Battle Vision, and you're like, oh, Dr. Blight, oh, I lost to him with my 3-star, but if it would have been a 4-star, I would have won, you know? So that just kept happening over and over and over, and I was lamenting a little bit about, oh, gee, there's a really cheap, like, $6 per BCX Dr. Blight that's for sale for an 11 BCX, but then I'll never be able to get rid of my 6 BCX, right? But then our good friend Vugtis kind of swooped in and was like, hey, tell you what, Sai, if you pay me the difference in BCX based on the cost of the card, I'll buy the 4-star, give it to you, you give me the 3-star and the difference in cost. So Vugtis came out of nowhere, he saved me with Dr. Blight. So I appreciate that, Vugtis. Thanks so much. And Killian's Wrath, again, thank you so much for that delegation. Everyone else, like I said. And if I forgot your name, again, I'm really sorry. I'm just saying, like, this is kind of like the catalyst for what got me going on, like this buying spree. So now I'm like, all right, I've got my Dr. Blight under control, which was the thing I needed the most. what else is there that I'm going to need to pick up to be able to be more competitive in Wild? Because I was like, you know what, if I'm botting Wild, right, I want to make sure that I get my win rate up. What is it that's going to allow me to get my win rate up the most? Like, what are the key cards that I'm still missing that would allow me to win more? And that's where this XBot card research tool came in. So I'll post a link and everything for it. But this particular link, you can see here, is last updated July 2024, has kind of like some of the statistics and things that come out of XBot and the way that they like recommend based on value and the rental costs and everything, what cards are like your primary cards that you should be renting to have the best chance of success, right? So it's pretty cool. It breaks it all down. The value score is what you want if you're like trying to just get like the cheapest, best cards. But total ELO is what I was more concerned with, because total ELO is basically like the win rate, right? Value score is the win rate plus also the cost in rental, right? To give it like a good value buy based on win rate. But just total ELO is just straight up the win rate. That's it. That's it. It doesn't care if the card is $1,000 versus a $1 card. It just cares what wins more. So you can actually break this down, and here's where you create a copy. And through some filtering, I filtered it down to show me what the best cards basically were in existence for Wild in Champion, because that's where I want to play, right? I'm not going to go and I'm not going to buy cards that are good for bronze when my goal is to get into Champion. So I started noticing some very interesting things. First off, Dr. Blight, you can see here, Wild, Champion, Neutral, Monster, Dr. Blight, best card basically by ELO, right? Because that's what this last one is, the one that says 72,000, right? I don't care about value, all right, even though it's got a good value number. I'm caring about ELO, right? I'm caring about what is just gonna win the most. And you can see here that part of the reason why I wanted to upgrade my Dr. Blight, first and foremost, is because Dr. Blight is hands down the best card, even in Champion, in Wild. It is still the best card. So not being able to play with a 4-star was severely hampering me. And that's why I decided to start with Dr. Blight. Okay, using statistics, the straight up statistics from XBot. So big thank you to Sylar as well for putting this kind of a thing together for us to kind of use to evaluate, right? So you start looking down the line and you're like, all right, so Lux Vega is really good, Supply Runner. Like, think about this. So Dr. Blight's the best, basically. Lux Vega is next best, and then Supply Runner. Supply Runner from Chaos Legion. Now, don't forget, it's obviously better to... The more times a card is used, the better it will be able to really navigate and have like accurate readings for this. So some cards I just don't see a lot of play might be skewed a little bit. But I mean, we're going to look at this data here, okay? Supply Runner, basically third best card that exists in the game behind Lux Vega and Dr. Blight as far as like the win rate that it gives you and the value. And look at its value, 9.03. So even renting it, it's like you need a Supply Runner. That's one of those key cards, right? If you want the cards that win the most, it's Dr. Blight, Lux Vega, Supply Runner, and then get this, all right? You ready why Blue always wins so much? By win rate. Bagheera, Deep Lurker, Merdali Guardian. 3 critical blue cards in Modern right now are also 3 of the best cards in straight up the entire game in Wild. Bagheera, Deep Lurker, Merdali Guardian. Then we have the Kitty, right? So when we're really looking at this, like Byzantine Kitty, I should specify. So when you're really looking at the way that this breaks down, and you can see its value though, right? Because of how much it costs to rent, its value is only a 6, right? Compare that to something like Supply Runner, its value is a 9. Then you got like Mycelia, Archemis the Bear, blah, blah, blah. It keeps going down the list, okay? But what is most important to me is to fill in these gaps, right? What is the card with the highest win rate that I don't have yet? So it's going to contribute the most to me winning more. So I'm going down the list, and basically anything that's Chaos Legion I've pretty much got, right? Anything in the Chaos Legion set, most of us have, but it's those gaps between Chaos Legion when you want to play in Wild that you really got to try and fill in, right? So going down, you see at the very first one of like the Wild type cards ends up being Almo Cambio, right? Aside from Byzantine Kitty. It's out of reach for me, obviously. So it looks like the best card is Byzantine Kitty for Wild stuff, but it's just out of reach, okay? But you get to Almo Cambio, right? And it's like right there underneath Chaos Agent, which is like Archemis is better than that too. Queen Mycelia, who would have thought, right? So here we're at Almo Cambio. And I was like, all right, so I guess my quest starts with Almo Cambio then, since I got my Dr. Blight done. And I was taking a look through it. Let's find Elmo Cambio. It's Untamed. And I was like, man, there's a great deal right now. I was able to get a 3-star, so it's not quite the 4-star that I wanted, but there was actually a 3-star for sale, so 6 BCX at $5.50 per BCX. No joke, $5.50 per BCX. So I ended up being like, okay, well, I mean, I guess I have to buy that. There's no choice. So I bought that one up here. There's a couple others that I got too. I'll go through my little list here just to kind of show you guys. But where is it? And then it just kept snowballing. Like you find this good deal and you're like, here, right here. Look at this. So Nikatsu Elmo Cambio 3-star for $33.33. Right? So it's $5.50 per BCX. Just a crazy deal, you know? And you look below here. Look, Alucard sold an Elvish Mystic, a 4-star Elven Mystic for $4, right? So that's got silence and everything on it as well, which we'll see as we go down. I bought a few Furious Chickens and things as well. Here's another one. Okay, before I get too off track and just start showing you stuff, let's go back to this list, right? So there's Elmo Cambio. So boom, I got a 3-star. It's not a 4-star. I'll put in some bids. We'll see if I can snag some cheap, whatever. You know, I'll get those last 5 eventually. I've got something. Angelic Mandarin, Osher Constantina. I've got a 3-star, not a 4-star. Not much I can do. Out of my league. Failed Summoner. All right. So these cards that were good previously, like before the existence of Modern, everyone's like, Failed Summoner. I need my 100 BCX Failed Summoner so that I'm going to be able to have, like, you know, Magic Reflect and everything built into it. So this Failed Summoner and stuff like that. Let me just see. Hey, buddy. Yeah. Well, Mario's playing upstairs for you, isn't it? No, there's no Super Mario Brothers for Nintendo right now. So we got the Failed Summoner here, right? A 10-star. But for me, as you guys know, I can't do that. I have to go and get myself a 100 BCX at best. Let's get over here. Oh my gosh, there's a 6-star 100 BCX by Dr. Boo available right now during this video. I'm not even going to wait. Do I have the credits for it? I don't. I'll just pay in the DC for 14 cents. I'm not even going to risk it. I'm just going to buy this right here. All right, I wasn't planning on buying a Failed Summoner right now, but it was exactly the Failed Summoner that I wanted. And it was the cheapest thing on the market. So, okay, I guess I did get that covered now. I was just going to wait it out, but 14 cents, that's a good one at exactly what I wanted. Here's why. Because at 10-star, it not only gets you Magic Reflect, but it also gets you Demoralize. Like, obviously, I'd want a 10 BCX, but I just paid $13 instead of $54. And it got to, like, you know, a decent level, the 100 BCX. The part where I think that it's actually, like, very useful because of the Demoralize, right? Boom. So good. All right. Don't worry, they're watching Super Mario, Paper Mario upstairs. This is their break time to get a little bit of TV, and we were out disc golfing all morning, and then it's like a little bit of relaxed time for those guys. So those 3 are huddled upstairs. To the best of my knowledge, you never know who might come down again, watching some Paper Mario. But yeah, so I guess I just picked up a Failed Summoner right here live on stream. Thank you very much, Dr. Boo. Which you can see it was the next best one, right? So basically the way that I'm doing things, and Tower Griffin, a big shout out to Smirk, who sold me a Tower Griffin as well. This was a behind the scenes sale, so I could just kind of reached out to him and was like, hey, you got any for sale? He said, yep, I got one for you. So I ended up picking up this nice 8-star Tower Griffin, which you can see that, like, it's these small little things like Tower Griffin and Failed Summoners. Obviously, we all knew how good Elmo Cambio was, that are really the ones that are making the difference, right? Like, just crazy that it's Tower Griffin, as far as, like, wild cards, is, like, the 4th best card, right? It goes Kitty, then Elmo, then Failed Summoner, then literally Tower Griffin. Who would have imagined that Tower Griffin, as far as ELO is concerned, is one of the must-have cards if you're playing in Wild? It'll give you the most bang for your buck as far as when you play it, you're going to win more, right? 4th best card. And then, of course, we hit Yoden Zaku. But it's interesting to know that these cards were better than Yoden Zaku, right? Some of the other cards I'm still going to need to pick up are things like Scale Doctor and Truth Speaker, you know, and a better Kimmer Princess, because I've only got a 4-star Kimmer Princess, a full maxed out Ash Mirage because mine's only gotten to the point when it has headwinds and some of these other cards. But I am seeing so many good deals right now out there that it's hard for me to not feel like, what do I want to do, right? Do I believe that Splinterlands is going to, and this is not financial advice, do I believe that Splinterlands is going to succeed in the long term and that these cards are going to be something that people want, or just straight up, they're good cards that are going to just win for me, which is what I'm looking at, right? I'm not looking at it like, oh my gosh, I want to invest in these cards and hold them for 1,000,000 years. No, these cards will literally help me win. Do I believe that Splinterlands has a future and I can pick up these cards super, super cheap? Or do I think, no, I don't believe it has a future. I should be selling out of these cards like some of the other people are doing, like I talked about, like the Burn and things like that. He's got really good deals right now because I don't believe that there's a future for Splinterlands, right? So I'm just going to sell out and just take what I can get, even though things are pretty low. And I'm on the path that I believe Splinterlands does have a future. Again, not financial advice. Don't take anything I'm saying like me soliciting you and telling you, go out there and invest your house in Splinterlands and you'll make tons of money. No. From a play perspective, and therefore the ability to earn like these rewards, I am bullish right now on Splinterlands. And I think that a lot, like, let's just take a look at some of my sales I've done here. Here's another one. Shout out to Smirk again. I want to show you guys something here that I just picked up, okay? I have even been trying to get, like, the good beta cards up there that I think are actually useful, right? But shout out to Smirk, who was also Alucard, got me this guy over here. An Elemental Phoenix. I got this for $20 for just a 3 BCX. I got it for $20. It has Blast, right? Amazing pickup for $20, Elemental Phoenix. There's a Ruler of the Seas around for 5 per BCX that would get you this 3-star for $25. Like, if I didn't already have one, I would have picked that up instantly. Here's a good one that I picked up too, though. I ended up getting this guy for something like $45 or something like that. This Gold Dragon, I think it was less, maybe it was 43. This Gold Dragon, only a 3-star, right? Which is exactly when it gets Blast. You can see a theme with what cards I think are going to be good. Now, that guy didn't show up very, very high in this copy, but I mean, there's still cards that I wanted to have for the future, right? Moving on down, some other cards. I've always had the Spirit of the Forest. I'm trying to get my Divine Healer up a little bit higher. I managed to pick up a max level. Where is he? Oh, I'm only looking at beta. Yeah, I've got some extra Spirit Miners and stuff. The big place where I've been picking up lots of cards actually has been Untamed. I picked up a Grenadier here, 6-star, really high on that list again, right? Because of 3 BC, like, look, it's got Blast for 3, right? Hits for 3, Blast for 2. So I managed to pick up a Grenadier here for, I think it was less than $10, a 6-star max. Like, this card is amazing, right? And for $10, who would have thought that you'd be picking up a Grenadier max at $10 when like 1 BCX of it used to be like $3, you know? So, I mean, I'm not saying I didn't get burned on Chaos Legion, but at the same time, I mean, do you believe in the growth of the game or not? Do you think that Matt's fixing things? And I think he is. So here's another one. Living Lava. There was a max level Living Lava that was 8 cents per BCX. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, maybe I should buy it. Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. I'll leave it there for a day while I think about it. I literally went back later that day. It was gone. The Living Lava's gone. So I'm not the only one that's looking for these cards, right? I picked up a $6 max level Phineas Rage. Crazy. He's not that high on the tier list, but for $6, man, like some of these buys are just crazy. I got a max level Kelp Initiate. Let's see what I got it for, actually. Kelp Initiate, Wailing Wraiths. Did I sell those? No, I bought the Wailing Wraiths. Let's see, a max level Ice Pixie I picked up for $10. Here's the Kelp Initiate that I picked up to finish off the other one. So for an extra, call it $1.70, for an extra $2, that means for basically $12, I got a max level Kelp Initiate. You know, some of these buys are just so strong out there right now compared to what it was before. Like, for instance, even this Failed Summoner that I just picked up. Do you guys remember when Failed Summoner for 1 BCX was like $1? Like, do you guys remember? That was just like maybe a year ago. It was $1. for a full BCX of Failed Summoner. So, I mean, a lot of people are probably saying, well, I mean, people are selling out because they don't agree with these prices and they don't agree with the game and all this other stuff. And that may be true, you know, but for those of us who believe, like, now to me seems like a buying opportunity. Look, once, and here's the people that I see exiting, all right? Anubis has been selling his cards pretty cheap. XYC19 is a bot, so he'll always be there cheap, but he's being driven down by the burn, right? So if XYC19 is a bot, he's always going to be like low, like the lowest seller, which in this case is the burn. So when the burn is done, when the burn has sold out his collection, which let's take a look at the burn right now. My cards, the burn. So when the burn is done selling out his collection, unless it's another bot, right? Then, I mean, holy smokes, like look at the nice fat collection he's got. Still $55,000 to get rid of. Let's just look at his Untamed. Like when the burn is done selling out his stuff, then that's going to create like a new floor that the bots are going to follow, a different floor, right? Like look at this Cornelius. Remember when Cornelius was like 30 bucks, 40 bucks a BCX, 50 bucks a BCX? Now he's 50 bucks for a max level. Like, if you guys, no, I don't want to like persuade you guys more. Again, what I'm saying right now is just my joy and excitement in being able to pick up these cards that I never thought that I'd be able to own. I never thought I'd be able to own these cards. Like, look at this. Like for a max level Feasting Seaweed, you can get one for under 10 bucks right now. And Feasting Seaweed's kind of up here. You know, this is just my excitement right now at actually seeing it. And you guys might say, you're just going to get burned. And you know what? There's a possibility I get burned. I admit it. You know, there's a possibility I get burned. But I like playing the game, even though these are pieces for Wild, right? I like playing the game. And I think the game has a path for success. So I'm going to do the things that are going to enable me to have the most success along with Splinterlands. And if it turns out that things go downhill and that I have misjudged and misevaluated the direction, then I mean this is a ship that I am just going to sink with at this point. But who would have imagined the day would come again when you could get a max level Truth Speaker right now for 25 bucks? Like to me, this is the moment when I either buy in because I believe, or I just sell out because other people are selling out the floor right now, right? Which I guess it's not the floor. Every time we think it's the floor, it always goes lower, right? So who knows? I could be able to pick up these cards a week later from now for even less than what I'm paying. But I've just got this excitement in me, you know, that wants me to upgrade. And like I said, I'm putting a few $100s at this point. And I mean, I definitely don't regret that decision. I feel like if I had more money, I would just keep putting money in right now. And again, you can go and say, what are you thinking? Like, this is dumb. You're investing in a dead. Oh, I picked up a Shield Bearer max level. I picked up a Shield Bearer max level for under 20 bucks. Like, let's go and find that one. Like the deals are there if you're looking for them. Explorer market history. That's a Failed Summoner I just picked up for 13. Crazy. Who would have thought that I'd have that? Here we go. Shield Bearer. Look, 1821 for a max level Shield Bearer from Lewis 88. 1821 for a max level Shield Bearer. The next closest one is 30 bucks when it comes to that, right? So that must have been like 16 cents or something. And those are things I look for too, when it's like, oh, you've got like two people that are obviously just trying to sell out real cheap. See, this one has a lot that are all the same. Like, look at all those 11s that are similar. This isn't one I would use as an example. Let's see. Let me try and find what I'm talking about here. Whether it's like, when there's like two that are cheap, and then after that, everything is super expensive. I think the Failed Summoner, actually, if we look. So here, yes, this is the kind of thing I'm looking at, right? So look, so we got the Burn and some of these other guys. It's all cheap, up to 19 cents, right? We got the Burn, we got the bot, Dr. Boo, who thanks, I just bought some of your stuff, Anubis, Mango Mayhem, trading ideas to some extent. Then boom, it goes from 14 cents to 19 cents to 30, 46, 79. So when these guys are done, what's going to be left? It's going to be these 40, then 79 centers on the Failed Summoner, and we're basically back to where we were before this big sell-off. That's why it's like, this time right now reminds me of when I first started playing Splinterlands. And it was near like, you know, the tail end of Untamed, right? And you could buy crons on the market for sub $10 and stuff like that. You could buy unicorn Mustangs like $11.84. Remember when these were like $3 to $5 per BCX, right? Because when you're just starting and you had like a bronze account, the meta was you play unicorn Mustang in the front, right? And then you just heal it because they're all playing Alaric, right? Or they're all playing Obsidian. So unicorn Mustang just does anything. Now look, max level unicorn Mustang 1184. Like, I feel like when I just started playing back in that day and that this opportunity is like another cycle. Look at this. Max level cron for $50. I mean, that pretty much sums it up, guys. Who knows how much longer I got before my kids come down and ruin the video. So I'm gonna end it here right now. Again, I'm not saying go and buy these cards. I'm not giving any financial advice whatsoever. I'm just saying that, man, this seems like a crazy time. That if you believe in Splinterlands, like $50 Cron the Undying. If you guys were here through Chaos Legion, you know that one BCX was $50. You know, and I feel bad for the people that got in and bought this Cron for 500 and are now selling it for $50. Like I lost a lot of money too in Chaos Legion. Don't get me wrong. And I'm not an infinite money crypto guy who's got tons of money. All right. Like I lost significant money. I bought 50 packs and I was buying vouchers at $20 a voucher just to get my 50 packs to get my one copy of Dr. Blight. So packs, those 50 packs of Chaos Legion to me were costing me like $24 American each. In opportunity cost. They're costing me $24 American each. Maybe it was even 25 because I think that I was using some vouchers to get a discount. However it was, but it was like 24, 25 bucks each. I bought 50 of those packs at that price. Like, I lost too. But if I want to play the game, am I going to let that bitterness hold me back from a $50 Cron the Undying, which I'm not going to buy because I don't think that it's high enough on this tier list for me. I got to go down to, like, you know, Kelp Initiate. That's crossed off, you know. Shield Bearer, I just told you I got one of those. Fungus Fiend or Mylor, I'm going to skip Mylor, right? Sandworm, like these are the things that I want right now. These are the things that I want to do because I still believe. Ooh, anyone got a max level out yet? Oh, $25 from Anubis for max level. Wait a minute, it was always there. I've always seen that 25 bucker. I'm the one who bought out the lower levels actually, now I think about it, to just get a 25 BCX. But I mean, these are the things that I'm looking at right now. And I just feel like we're back to where we were. You know, I want this so bad for 17, but I feel like someone's going to drop one at 2 or 3 cents a BCX, and then I'll buy that. You know, it's a buyer's market out there right now. People are exiting. Other people are buying in. Like I said about this living lava, I went back to get it. It was gone. I'm not the only one. I think that I've reached the limit of the time that I have. What's up, Wolf? You want to say hi? Hi to the internet people. No? Alright, cool. Well, there we go, guys. I hope you like this video. Again, I'm Bullish. Nothing I say is financial advice. Just me being excited and happy and spending some cashola. Until next time, it's I the Psy. Take care, my friends. Let me know what you think. Are you buying right now? Or are you selling? Or are you just kind of holding the line? Or are you turning assets into SPS? Love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Let me know. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Take care. Until next time.